Everybody's probably tuned away from us. We have no audience. All right, good evening and welcome back. Again, I apologize for the delay. If you just joined us, we were in non-public, and we're now back. I'm gonna wait for the board members to sit down, and then we'll follow on. We're having some technical problems with our links to the budget, to the agenda, I'm sorry. We're all set? All right. So in non-public, I'm pleased to announce that the LEA has ratified their contract, and we have voted on accepting the contract, and the vote was 5-0-0 in favor of accepting the contract for the LEA. So I think it's great news that we have a contract in place and it'll be presented to the public in the very near future. And I think Mr. Barker might just speak on a few talking points of the contract. He was part of the negotiating team, along with Janine.
Yeah, I think it's a fair contract. It's a fair deal. In the first year, what we're going to do is, rather than giving out step increases, we're going to move the schedule one step underneath someone. So if you're currently on step one, you'll still be on step one, but you'll actually get the step two pay. And then the steps will also increase by, let me see, here we go, 1.5%. In the second year, it's a 2-year contract, everyone on the salary schedule will get a step, and the cells will also increase by 2%. If you look at the total costs, in year one, it is a salary increase of, including the steps and the 1.5% increase, it's an average of 3.96% across the board. In year two, including the steps and the 2%, it ends up being a 3.64% increase. If you're looking at numbers, the year one cost, after some savings we're going to get that I'll talk about in a minute, the year one costs are $283,000, and the year two costs are $294,000. If you're looking at year one, we're also going to save $45,000 on insurance. Teachers have agreed to increase their co-pays and their deductibles on their insurance plan.
I'm sorry, is that already taken out of the 283?
That's taken out of the 283.
Otherwise, it would have been the 325, whatever.
Yeah, yep. In year two, they've agreed to increase their premium by 1%. So we're going to go from $84.16 to $83.17. There's $83.17 already? I forget. Either way, their increase is going up 1%. Yeah. That's going to save us another $20,000 a year. Other than that, it's pretty much status quo at that point. Yeah. If you look at the total salary schedules, if you compare it to the surrounding towns and similar districts in our area, the teachers are currently underpaid compared to their counterparts. At the end of this 2 years, their salaries will be similar to what the average is today. So we're getting them closer to what they expect to be paid based upon surrounding communities. And
this is due to the fact that they went a period of time of like 4 out of 5 years without a contract.
Yeah. But I think it's a fair deal. It's a good contract.
Yeah. It's nice to have, something in place and
yes,
now get it out to the voters. Fantastic. All right. Do we have any other reviews to the revisions to the agenda?
I do not.
All right. Summary of non-public minutes from December 14, 2016. Mrs. Bickey made a motion to approve the non-public minutes of November 30th, 2016 as written. Mrs. Harrison seconded the motion. Motion carried 4-0-1. Mr. Barker abstaining. We have no presentation recognitions. Correspondence. We had a quiet week again this week, didn't we, Derek?
We did, yeah.
Correspondence. Yeah. Next is approval of draft minutes from public session December 14th. Is there a motion?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the minutes of December 2014, I'm sorry, 2016? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. 5-0-0. Community forum, no one has joined us for this pleasant evening, so we'll go into superintendent's comments.
No comments this evening, just wish everybody a happy holidays and be safe.
All right. That'll bring us right to school board comments. I'll start off because, again, this is just a short meeting for us to go over our default budget and revenues. So I'd like to just take a moment and wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We won't see you till after the New Year. So I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday.
Can I say a quick something?
Absolutely.
My son was one of the children at the bus accident this week, and I just wanted to say that Mr. Leclater and Mrs. Thayer were very good at just making sure that everybody was safe and accounted for, and so I just commend them in a very tough situation, being able to kind of get the word out. And I know, being a nervous parent, I called and somebody was able to speak to me and everything like that, so that was great.
Good. It was nice to hear that everyone was okay also, especially
yeah.
when you look at the vehicles that were involved.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It
I'm
was a
glad to
tough
hear that,
one.
there's just a couple of
They were
bumps.
singing, the bus driver did a
Yeah.
great job, and they were singing Christmas carols by the time Mr. Leclater got there, so they have a child that was nervous, so it was nice to know that they were in good hands.
And your son being in the chorus, was he leading?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Wouldn't doubt it, right?
Excellent. Does anyone else have anything? Okay. That'll bring us right into the default budget.
Mr. Chair, I did provide the board with a memorandum as requested. Looking back, I did go back to 2013 to look at the specific line items of curriculum and the district technology. And as you can see, I'll take this technology plan. The default budget was the same as the current, or the previous, as you know. The default budget is the same as the current year budget with deductions, reductions, or additions based on contractual obligations. So going back, the look back of 5 years, the district technology plan was the same, and the curriculum review, with the exception of 2014 and 15, was the same with adjustments in 14 and 15, and I described those adjustments for you. In 2014, it looks like by the records that we were trying to recover from a couple of years that it wasn't funded. I believe curriculum was cut as part of that 1.2 reduction. So, and I gave you the backup documentation to that as well as a draft of what the default would look like if we in fact were consistent with the past 5 years.
I know we had an opportunity to look at this last week, so if there are any questions, and Derek, we got clarification from legal actually on the question of the Chromebooks.
Okay.
And we got Julie Heon involved, seeing if there was something as far as shifting of curriculum, and no matter how we looked at it, they had to come out, so it did come out.
Okay.
We did have the plan going for like 2 years, but it was self-purchased.
Okay.
So had we provided them, then it could have been put in there, but next year it can end up in the
It could
default.
be, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
but this year not.
And for a point of clarification, Mr. Chair, that amount was $29,606. So that would bring the default down to total $21,687,980.
So that was the 54,000 increase this isn't the real number anymore then?
Correct. But again, if the board wants to remain consistent with what we've done in past years, keeping the current year level funding.
Yeah. I guess I would say we would
So that
just
would
level fund it, yeah.
So it's level funded,
Yeah.
plus we took out the 29,606.
The other thing too, because I believe it came up with the budget committee, if I'm not mistaken, as far as the technology plan.
Yeah.
Technology plan was a 5-year plan, but it's an ongoing 5-year
Yeah.
plan. So, again, we checked with legal counsel, and that is something that's continually going, so it can go into your default.
Okay.
I mean, it's like curriculum. Curriculum is every year, it changes every year, but you can put it right in there.
If that's the case, then should we level fund both technology and curriculum?
Well, I believe that was my draft.
Okay.
I did level fund curriculum at the 125,287.
Okay.
Again, that's if the board chooses to remain
Yeah.
consistent with the past 5 years.
Yeah, so this one isn't accurate then, the one we're looking at?
I believe I attached another one that had,
Okay. I can't
that said curriculum level funded, remove Chromebooks for freshmen. Again, it would be, I can give you what the line amounts would be for, so curriculum review, I kept at the 125,287, which is this year's budget amount, consistent with the 5-year review.
Yeah.
Kept the same number there.
And a technology plan?
That would be the total 73,815, which is reducing it by the 29,606 for the Chromebooks.
I would just say level funded at 103, 421.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to
We're
level
doing
fund
the same
that.
thing with
Fourth,
curriculum.
Just level
Right.
fund them.
Okay. The amount then of the default budget, including federal funds and food service funds, would be 21,717,586.
7 what?
21,717,586.
Okay.
And just to make the board aware, that is 144,066 over current year budget, would be our default budget for 2018.
I make a motion to approve 21,717,586 as a default budget for FY18.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. Did you have anything on revenues, Frank, or?
No, sir. That, I did give the board hard copies, because I believe we had trouble getting those opened last board meeting, but again, the revenues, I did provide you a copy of the general fund, food service fund, and federal fund. Food service and federal fund, basically, the revenue projections are to meet the budget, approved budget amount. And the general fund, as you can see, there were no changes to the general fund projections.
And warrant articles at this time?
I did put them on the, on the site, but this is what they look like right now.
Right, but, so we've already voted on the ones we can
You've
vote on.
already voted on everything, the only number we don't have is the operating budget.
Yeah. And it'll also be Article 2. Just realized you got 3 years in there, but it's only 2.
As soon as I get the,
We'll make it
yeah,
three.
we didn't, we
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be 3.
That's just the template, and once we
Yeah,
get the figures.
no, but I just
and
noticed there's 3 years on here,
Yeah.
right, so all the rest have. So there's actually 3 warrant articles we'll still have to vote on.
Right.
At sometime before deliberative, and that is the, obviously the main one for the budget.
Right.
The next will be the LEA, that now that that's been ratified, we'll have that information here. And LSS, as I mentioned at our last meeting, we are still negotiating at this time. We are gonna meet one final time on the 5th of January and see if we can't hash out a contract with them. And then we can vote on the rest of these. That's what they all said now. I think the last thing we have for you, Frank, I don't know if you have any other information. I know, talking to you earlier today, you were trying to still acquire some information on the bus.
We did receive some information. The bus company was notified after the board meeting last week that we wanted to make those changes to the LMS bus route. They were going out to do a drive run, as they called it today, to come up with the actual times of those bus stops, and that came in late this afternoon. So hoping if we will finalize that certainly by the end of the week and have a notice out to all the parents and those posted on the websites of LMS and the SAU.
And did they give you any indication as far as how it went, or, I mean, did it go as well as they thought as far as the changes?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They'll all fall into place?
Yeah, again, they're just putting the actual, they like to put the times to it. So again, the stops themselves are as identified that I presented to the board last Wednesday. So that should be done, and will be posted again. We'll send a notice out to the parents.
Excellent. All right, now bring us to the manifest. Questions on the manifest?
Excuse me, does the board have to accept the revenues or not?
Maybe a motion to accept the revenues as presented, yeah, for the three
Wasn't
funds.
sure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll make a motion to accept the revenues as presented this evening. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained, 500. That'll bring us to our public input. Again, with unfortunately no public here. Hopefully everyone's at home watching, staying warm. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So made.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. We're all done. And again, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Yes, thank
Christmas.
you.
Thank
Merry
you. Thank you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Yes.